What if making and playing custom 3D fighting game characters was this open source, this M.U.G.E.N, but in the browser? Well, I'm building playKORE, which is a browser-based 3D fighting game engine where you can create characters, import stages, edit moves, and fight instantly online. This week, I finally got custom character frame editing working, and it broke everything. But first, who am I? I'm a solo game dev who has been a professional software engineer for the last decade and a half. I've developed tons of games that never saw the light of day. Core is my attempt to build a moddable 3D fighting game engine that runs directly in the browser, and it's something that will feel competitive as Tekken, but also feel less creative and give you the freedom that Mugen has. So in this first devlog, I'm going to show you where the project is right now, what I'm already working on, and the main system I'm building next. So first, like, why am I building this? Fighting games are one of the hardest genres to make, but they're also one of the most fun to customize. And Mugen is a perfect example. It proved that players love creating their own fighters, but most importantly, those tools are very old. They're 2D and they're offline, and all of those combined just make it really hard to modernize. So building something brand new from the ground up with modern technology using my own skill set that I learned from the industry, it just made sense to me. So what do I have? So here you can see the splash screen. Core, again, it's a 3D style fighting game, very similar to Tekken, very similar to Super Smash Bros. Um, so if you click on in, you'll see that there's a welcome screen. It tells you how to play the game. If you just skip through these questions, or sorry, skip through these stages, you'll see the front screen. So of course, this is a full, complete fighting game engine. It has everything already built. Worked really hard to develop from the ground up a voxel style sprite to 3D conversion. And so I did a lot of research on how to generate voxels at runtime, and so I was able to do that in the browser using 3.js. And so um, getting it to work was extremely challenging. The initial stages were very buggy. Hits didn't really feel right. Um, it was definitely not running at 60 FPS. And so there was a lot of optimization that I had to do. But once I got that in, it was extremely easy for me to get this working exactly how I wanted it to. So this is the main site. If we load up the dev server here, it has a few different components. So if you, I don't know if I've said this, but this is a completely open source. You can see how all the code works. You can see how everything works. So you can build something like this yourself, or you can run it locally. And so that's how you would end up adding your own fighters. So when you have this locally, of course, you will have access to all of the fighters. But if you're playing it through our site, then of course it's only going to you have to unlock it and you have to go through arcade mode and things like that. But once you have it locally, you'll see you also have access to stages as well as the characters. So obviously you have access to all the characters on the production site, but here you can actually play around with frame data and test and see different things customized. But the main site will always have the most latest and greatest frame data. But yeah, I made this again, especially to mimic similar functionality that Mugen has. So you can add any number of characters that you want. You can add any number of moves. You can customize every single thing from the maps to stages. Of course, all the stages are 3D maps, so you can edit those as well. And yeah, so just kind of going a general overview of what the game is like. And so when you come in, what you'll probably do is go into training. You pick your character and you just load into the training screen, and you'll be able to go through your different moves. And then you can pause and go to the training mode, and then of course go through your different trials. Zoro will walk you through all of your different trials and help you learn how to play the game. We have everything from basics to Okis to everything. But I'm very familiar with fighting games, and so that's one of the reasons I wanted to make this. And so again, Has everything that you would need to not only make a fighting game, but also enjoy right now. One of the hardest things that I had to deal with when making this was definitely trying to make the frame rate actually fast enough to make the frame data matter. Because if you don't know, frame data is extremely important in fighting games. If the move is too fast and you can't react, then nobody wants to play it. And if the move is too slow, then people can easily block it. So really getting down into the granular details and making sure the startup, active, and recovery frames, as well as the damage and everything, was perfect and to a T for all of the characters, was really, really important to me. And so making sure that the game was very balanced. Different characters had transformations, different characters had grabs, like everyone had their own special abilities, which is really important. So that was probably one of the hardest parts of getting this, other than, making sure the frame rate was perfect. Um, but what's next? I have a lot of things planned for this game. Right now, there are over 65 characters in it. Currently, you can think of it as like a doujin, where we're trying to create like a crossover series, fan project, very similar to other Sonic fan project games that are out there. But in the future, I plan to just keep it to these characters for now. Probably over the next few months, I'm just going to tweak and make this very, very, very smooth. And then just work on trying to make it possible for people to want to enter tournaments, and enter the prize pool and stuff. So just really making this really balanced and just making sure that people want to play it, and every character is unique in their own way, and is able to keep up. But yeah, that's kind of the general overview of Core. Again, it's a 3D fighting arena, free to play. You can open it up on your phone and on your Xbox and your Steam Deck. Super easy to play. If you do have a Steam Deck, you can go into the options setting and go into console and go into our installers tab, and then you'd be able to install this on your Steam Deck and add it to your Steam library, and you'll be able to play it every day. But yeah, that's the general overview of Core. If you have any questions or thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. Would love to hear what you think of the game, how it plays, how it feels. I've been really enjoying playing it. Actually, I've been playing it for the last few days, and um, yeah, I really gotta stop staying up. My wife doesn't like me staying out. I'm playing the game all night. But anyway, that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this hobbyist spiel of mine. Again, this isn't my first game. I've made probably 20 games so far in my life, but this is the one that I feel like I want to actually play. And it has a lot of the features that I would expect to see in a fighting game, such as like auto combos and stuff. If you want a beginner preset, you can do like modern controls, or you can do the quarter circle full, like the full controls and get full damage and stuff like that. And then of course there's multiple stages and stuff, so you'll have a lot of fun just playing against your friends online and in ranked and in tournaments, and just challenging yourself to learn how to do different combos and different routes. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe to see more videos in the future. That's all I got, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.